Flash Forward Issue 1 tries to make sense of the clusterfuck Wally West's life has become post-Heroes in Crisis by catching up with Tempest, who witnesses an anomaly causing the Dark Multiverses not to be destroyed over and over, but to spread throughout the healthy worlds of the multiverse, infecting them with pure unconcentrated evil. Despite knowing it goes against the rules of his people, Tempest activates his staff, saying the multiverse needs a hero, even if it's the last person anyone would expect. Wally West, meanwhile, has been incarcerated into Blackgate Prison for his crimes. He wears a power-dampening collar, not for punishment, but to protect others. His mind still races, not letting him get any sleep as he contemplates forgiveness and redemption. His contemplation is interrupted by a guard, who tells him it is food time. Leaving his cell, Wally goes to the Blackgate Mess Hall, where he sits alone amongst the people who used to battle against him. While he eats, Double Down tries to attack him, trying to stab him for some prison cred. Luckily, Double Down is stopped by Murmur. Wally thanks the villain, but knows he didn't do it to help him, since he did it so Wally would suffer for as long as possible. The Warden soon arrives, telling Wally he has a visitor. Wally thinks it might be the Titans or the Justice League, but it's actually Linda Park. Wally is pained to see her, since in another time and place she was his wife, but now she is just a reporter who wants a quote from him about dropping his legal counsel. Wally says he lost control and good people died, but she says that Wally has done so much good and people understand that it was an accident. But Wally knows that that doesn't bring any of the people he killed back to life. Linda says that he released the confessionals to the world and tried to make amends for what he did, but Wally knows he only tried and failed. On the cusp of the multiverse, treasure hunter Tarkle traverses through the Trapfield Temple, making it to his bounty, the empty Mobius chair. He knows only the strongest souls can sit upon the throne, and he sits on the chair, where he is immediately killed thanks to the immense power that was channeled through him in an instant. Back at Blackgate, Wally's memories of framing others for his crimes haunt him, and he tries to sleep but cannot, when suddenly someone calls to him. Going to answer the call, he is attacked by Gerda. Wally is shocked to learn the villain has had his power collar disabled and removed, and he's not the only villain with his powers back, as Tar Pit also ambushes Wally. The two villains beat Wally around the cell, trying to goad him into fighting back. Wally remembers the people he killed never got a chance to fight back, as he realizes the villains crushed his control collar. With his powers back, he attacks them, taking them down in an instant. Soon Tempest arrives in his cell, saying Wally cannot give up because there is still fight left in him, and judging by what he just saw and what he just did to the villains, Tempest was right in choosing him. Tempest is injured, however, and Wally goes to help him, learning Tempest's body is being dissolved by the corruption of the multiverse. Wally tells Tempest that he shouldn't be in the prison since there's no place for him, so Tempest transports them both into a space-like place, saying Wally is just like everyone else who has regrets and rage and loss and hate. These points are a nexus point that change a world into a dark multiverse equivalent, which are to be swallowed by the dark universe, but now they are not, and one dark world refuses to die. Tempest says that Wally needs to help him since he's the fastest person in the multiverse, and only he can destroy the anomaly causing the dark multiverse to overflow. Wally isn't interested in helping the being, but Tempest says that Wally can't perceive how much power he truly has, and he has become unmoored. Before Wally can ask what that means, Tempest says that he wasn't looking for his help, it's his destiny to serve the cosmos. Tempest blasts Wally with his rod, giving him his costume back. Wally isn't happy about putting it back on, since he never wanted to see it again, thanks to the memories it contains for him. Tempest doesn't listen, instead opening a portal and bidding Wally a good journey as the portal takes Wally to Earth 23, where he meets with a bloodied and beaten President Superman, who says he must not fall. Flash Forward Issue 1 was a terrible, ham-fisted comic that didn't need to exist at all if a certain writer and editorial group didn't do everything in their power to ruin a beloved, freshly returned character. Seriously though, this series is just a band-aid fix to what they did to Wally in Heroes in Crisis, and it's because of basically fan outrage is why this series exists, and it's just going to be there just to say that they did fix it when really they didn't. The writing in this book is just so ham-fisted and laborious as well. Characters just talk in exposition and detail their actions for no reason, like the whole Tarkle interlude where he's like, this is the Mobius chair, and if I sit on it, I will get power, and people who sit on it die because they have weak minds. It's stuff like that that doesn't need to be written, and it's really the sign of a bad writer if they write like that, since they should write just enough and then let the artist do the other half and present what's happening in the dialogue on the page with the art. There's also the fact that Wally is just put in a normal prison. For now, at least. They did mention that he was being transferred elsewhere, but why he was put in here and not like a Hall of Justice holding cell or something is beyond me. And because of that, everyone knows his identity now. Everyone knows that Flash or Kid Flash is Wally West. And that's kind of a big problem because, you know, he just outs himself because of this. It's very strange. I want to be excited since it's a multiversal journey through the DC universe, and I really love exploring all the different Earths and what make them different from the Prime Earth and everything. But with someone like Lobdell at the helm, it's going to be a complete mess, much like how this issue was. Brett Booth's art was nice for most of the book, and it's good he actually got paired with a colorist and inker that fit his work really well and actually make it look very nice. I'm going to give this issue a 2 out of 10.